Sweet. Connect everything, and we should be good. Alright. Hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is December 9th, and this is the December 9th TextQuest Devstream. So, today we are going to be continuing our work on custom adventure interactions. Last week we had managed to get interactions working within the actual games. So you can create an object in the custom game creation menus and set that up in a room. And when you enter that room in the custom adventure, you will be able to interact with a specific object. So I guess we can go ahead and show that real quick. The goals for today are probably going to be, I think we'll be able to get to items, which is going to be interesting, as well as setting up. We can probably turn on maximize on play. Let's go ahead, start extras, author mode, create, Zork. All right, so if we test our game, we can go here, and there's nothing we can interact with in this room, but if we go north, we see an apple. So we're going to go ahead and say examine apple. Can't do that. And that's because we don't have anything set up for our actual verbs on the object. So we're going to do, let me think. To start off with, we're going to try and get the actual verbs for interactions set up. And from that, we will, well, assuming we can get that done today, I'm not entirely sure if we will be able to, because that's one of the most complex things. Once that's taken care of, we'll move on to support for items, which are just objects that you can take with you. But those are two very distinct things, so we'll need to make sure that we have support for that. So yeah, that's currently what we're going to do, or that's what our plan is for today. And real quick, I'm going to go back down south, and then I'm going to try to examine the apple again, and you'll see that it says I don't see an apple around here. Let's go ahead and quit, or actually I guess I can just go south and I'll win. Oh, that's interesting. We have, oh, that's just reading in the texture. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, like, why is it giving me that log? Okay, so let's go ahead and, actually, before we stop playing, let's go ahead and go to don't destroy and load, UI, view container. I'm going to go ahead and open up custom game overview. Just going to open that up. And the reason I did that is because every time I stop playing in this particular scene, it seems like it takes, I don't know, 20 seconds for it to actually stop. So we're going to let this open up while we're trying to stop. Also, I'm going to refresh Twitch because it seems like it's not broadcasting, and that makes me nervous. So, okay, good, never mind. Back here, stop playing, come back over here. Let's turn off some of the stuff that we were doing before. And classic create view. All right. So, let's see. I suppose we'll want to go to CG underscore. Let's see, interaction data type. So there should be interactions view, or actually interaction. We'll go ahead and open up this and this. All right. Right. Info verbs. Okay, so we're going to actually set up the interactions view to allow you to set up verbs. As of right now, I'm not entirely sure if our. Let me look at this real quick. Let's see, build, quest, custom. I'm not entirely sure if objects have their verbs getting saved. And that could be a shortcoming of the actual 2JSON. Oh, hold on. These are connections, but where are my objects? Ah, here we are. Yeah, so you can see we have verbs 0. Wait, 0? What the heck? Well, that's weird, but okay. So yeah, I'm guessing that currently all of our JSON for objects is going to be messed up with the verbs, and that's because I'm guessing our interactive objects are not set up properly for their verb. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Why don't we? here. Actually, we're going to want to go to interactable object. Really? That was because I called it interactive object. There we go. Okay, let's go down here. We're going to go to our toJSON function, which is going to be at the bottom. Let's see, toJSON. So verb info. This verb's interesting. So it should be functioning as I would expect, but it's not. That's interesting. The verb type. I wonder if it's not doing it correctly because of the way bit masks are handled when they're being converted to strings. That probably wouldn't hurt for me to double check this. So I'm going to go ahead and do debug.log this .verbs of i.verb.toString. So we're going to get a confirmation of whether or not it's converting all of the verbs to just the 0 we saw there. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and say this .verbs of i.toJSON. So that'll convert everything over to JSON. So when the objects get saved out, we should be able to see those logs. All right. And just to make sure that we are actually doing stuff with this. Let's see, level data, JSON items, session. Nope, not that. Custom game session, that's the variables. Well, this should work anyway. So let's see. Variables, values, where's our objects? Interactions, here we are. Interactions to JSON, okay. So yeah, it should definitely happen. So let's go ahead, and that's done every time it saves, correct? Every time toJSON is called, which is the saving part, so yeah. So we're going to go ahead and play. As we play, actually pretty much after the first, well, you know what, we might as well make a new object and see if that gets saved out to a weird verb state. Go ahead and do start. We'll do extras, author mode, create. I'm going to mute my phone. Alright, let's go to Zork. And I think we should have a few logs out right now. Yeah, so that happened 6 times, and I know we have 6 objects, which kind of makes me think that these get borked when they're loaded in. Let's go ahead and create a new object. Actually, you know, we'll go ahead and also clear this. So let's go to interactions. We will add a new interaction. We'll call this, what do I want to call it? Oh, right, I got to change that too. A name. One that's not already being used. It would actually be kind of convenient if I could see the first bits of my names here. But I guess we'll just call this parsed object. Let's go ahead and get rid of item. Basic, all this stuff is fine. We'll say a test. We'll say a test object. It has no verbs as of right now, and we don't have a UI set up for verbs, so nothing's really going to change there. All this stuff is good. Let's hit closed. We should have parsed object. Curiously enough, it does not automatically get rebuilt. That's interesting. Probably should have that happen. So these aren't in order anymore, which is kind of annoying. Because ax and parsed object should be, well, ax should be up here. Excuse me. And parsed object should be up here. But, whatever. Okay, let's go ahead and go back. Let's pause. And there we go. There are all of the verbs that we have, which is pretty much what I would expect. And that means that it should be correct if we go back here. Let's reload this. Let's see. So ax is wrong, but parsed object. Yeah. See, this is what I would expect. We'd get a bunch of verb chunks like this, but that doesn't seem to be the case, which I'm going to go ahead and stop playing, and we're going to take a look at what happens when we try to load this stuff in. So we're going to go back to interactive object, and we need from JSON. Okay, so we're going to say verb info dot get object. Wait, that doesn't make sense. If this didn't work, then previous things that I've done wouldn't work. So I guess we'll double check. So verb info is us getting. Ah, there's the problem. That makes sense. I guess I have no reason for it not to be done that way. So the problem is that when I'm saving it out to JSON, it's getting saved out to a JSON object, but when I'm reading it in, it's expecting a JSON array. So nothing actually functions, basically. It just gets read in incorrectly. Okay, well that's a simple fix. Let's see. So verb info, we just want to change that to verb info. Let's make sure that that's even correct down here. To JSON. Verb info. Okay, we'll make this a JSON array. JSON array. Get rid of this part. We don't actually need this. And then we can get rid of view. That does mean we're going to want to probably delete all of our existing objects. But that's not really a major problem. Okay, everything else should be good. Go ahead and say this. Oh, actually, you know what? Oh no, that's 2 JSON, so that should be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and let that compile, and we'll make a new object and then save that out as well. Or actually, you know what? I guess I could just delete this one. That would probably work. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so long having all this stuff. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and go all the way up and erase this so that it doesn't have to get parsed back in, and then we have to manually erase it anyway. Although, actually, you know what? No, we'll leave this in here because it's the only one that we know functions. So we'll leave it in to make sure that it gets Oh wait, no, it's right. It's malformatted though. Never mind. All lies. All lies. All the way back down again. Okay, I think we want you. Yes. I believe that is correct. Although, maybe not. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Is there interactions? Okay, so no, that was correct, I think. Now I'm like super nervous about it though. So this should be the top of our interactions, which it's not. Oh, right. Okay. Alright, I think I got this then. So we got an extra on the end here. There we go. So that's correct. Okay, let's go ahead and clear this out. Let's play. Let's go ahead and through this. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. Alright, let's go to interactions. Yep, our test is gone. We're going to go ahead and say create new interaction. We'll change it. So again, it's going to be parsed object. Okay, we'll just say a test object. Oops. There we go. That's good. Let's close this. And let's go ahead and do... Yeah, that should be good. Let's go back. Oh, right, we're not going to get that because I erased that. Stop playing. Take a look at it. Yes. All right, so now verbs are an array. And that means that when we read this back in and save it back out, we should no longer have incorrect verbs, at least for the ones that for the new object. The old ones we're going to have to probably erase to get them set up properly, because their verbs are thoroughly borked. And I don't really know if I want to allow users to add their own verbs and remove other verbs. I guess it wouldn't hurt having that option. Yeah, that would also cut down on file size. Because basically what happens is if a object does not have a verb, anytime you enter a verb and use that verb to interact with that object, it's just going to say you can't do that. And that's fine. It's just something to be wary of. Make sure that I don't... yeah, okay, that's fine. We need to work on the verb interface anyway, so... Alright, let's go ahead and clear this out. Hit play. If it ever decides to let us play. Alright, click through this. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork. Alright, let's go ahead and pause, come back here, reload, and there it is. Oh! Frack. Yeah, so that is problematic. Looks like doing toString on verb type, because it's a bit mask, will return 0 for some reason. That's really annoying. Which instead means that I need to... yeah, I need to get the name of the verb type instead of its actual string value. That's fair. Let's go ahead and stop playing. Let's go back here to interactive object, and actually we're going to go to verb to JSON. Let's go to definition. Alright, so here's our verb, and we want to say, so we can't do verb type .toString, instead we need to say, do I have a name function for this? I'm not entirely sure if I do. Gets the value for each option. Enum. No, that's not quite what I need. Instead, yeah, boo. So I think I want to do this. Hold on. Verb type utility dot. Let's see. Does this give me my name? Nope. It gives me a mask, which is not exactly what I need. Well, how do I want to do this then? I'm trying to think of how I do this actually. Okay, can I do verb type dot? Nope, that's not gonna work. All right. Well, we can simplify this all, which is nice. Success effect. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take a look at all of our JSON to see what we're doing. So effect seems to work. Oop, crap! Didn't mean to do that. Let's see. So effect works despite the fact that effect is a bit mask is. Oh no, it's not. It's a regular one, isn't it? Yeah. Harumph. Yeah, this is the only. Yeah, it's using actual bit shifting. Right. That complicates things. Jeez. Do I just not have a good... I mean, I guess I could just convert it to a mask. That would work. And then convert it back. Alright. Actually, do I have a from mask? To mask, contains add. Yeah, I have that. So. Okay. Alright, we'll just do the to mask stuff. Let's hope that it doesn't get weird. So we're going to say verb type utility dot to mask, and we will give it the verb itself. That should work. Oh, right. And we'll say int. Seems like that would be correct. And then when we parse it back in, we're going to have to do the opposite and basically cast it from a mask. So let's see here. Output, where's my verbs? Oh, wait, no, this is my verbs. Let's see, we get string value. So we're not going to do get string value anymore. Instead, we're going to get int value. We're going to change that over here, and we're going to say verb type, utility dot add. I think that's what we're going to want. Oh wait, no. That's not correct. I guess we could just say this dot verb dot add. Undo this. Oh, and then we would have to convert it back. Verb type. This is going to be interesting. I'm legitimately curious if that will work. If so, huzzah! If not, not exactly great. Let's go ahead and let that compile. So the problem is with bitmasks, it's not quite as easy as simply converting them into a string and then parsing them back in as an enum, since multiple values can be set on them, even though for verbs I only do set one particular value, because it would be stupid if you had a verb, and information on a verb, and that verb could be more than one verb. That would be weird. But since they could be multiple verbs, I need a way of basically getting them to a mask and then converting them back into that verb type enum when I'm loading it in. I guess we'll see if this works. I'm a little concerned that it might not. In fact, I'm actually willing to bet it's going to throw some null references right now when I try to load. That would be infuriating. Extras, author mode, create. No, we didn't. Okay. Let's come back here, reload. We're still getting verbs as 0, which is not particularly great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and we're going to add a new interaction. Oh, wonderful. We got a null reference. All right. Why are you doing that? Let's see. Collections. Let's get int value. Nope. What are you doing? What are you doing? I bet it's... You know what it is? I bet when I deleted that object, because I hadn't saved yet, Wait, that doesn't make sense. But it's probably what it's doing. I'm assuming it's a null reference in the list of interactive objects, basically. Let's see. Custom game author sessions. Yep, add new interaction right there. 395. Yep, it's right before we go to the interactive objects. So 395 in custom game. Custom author. Custom game author session. So 395. 395. Add new interaction. Yep. Oh, it's because of this. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. It was partially that, but it was mostly me being stupid. Let's come over here. Where's my template? There we are. Let's go ahead and open this up. So I've got to change that back. Oh. Crap! That doesn't work because that. Well, then we need to convert it to a string. Isn't that wonderful? Great. Great, 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 great. Okay. All right, well, let's go back here to verb. Control Z some of this. All of you. Okay, get string value. So this does work on the parsing in. It just means that we need to be a little bit smarter about how we save it out. So I can't do the toMask here. Instead, I'm going to have to do this dot verb dot, let's see, compare to contains. So toString doesn't work, which is very annoying. But I bet get values and then so we'll do get values and then of 0 dot toString. I bet that will work. Okay, let's try that. See if that works. So that keeps things in a string format, which is what our current parsing method is expecting. Makes sense. That makes it much more human readable in the spreadsheets. Well, go ahead and try this out again. I'm kind of wondering if that means we're going to have like a really messed up object in our save file now. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, interactions. Interesting. We don't have one for our parsed object? Oh, because we deleted it. Right. New interaction, info, delete, parse, object, test object. Okay, let's go ahead and close. Let's come back here. Yes. Verbs take. Oh, wait. Ah, come on, really? It only return take for all of them. Well, we're partially correct. All right, so you're not going to work the way I want you to. Oh, right, because get values isn't actually what I thought it was. Go figure. We're going to go back here. Get values returns all of the possible values in an enum, which is what it did, and that's not actually what I want. Although, wait, hold on. No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. I mean, that would be so weird, but I wonder if I can. Okay. So we're going to say, can I do this? If so, this is going to be super weird. I'm essentially casting a verb type to a verb type, but then I'm doing toString on that. Let's see. Because the problem is that the verbs getting saved out are just not having their type saved out properly, which causes problems, of course. All right. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, start, extras, author, create, Zork, interactions, let's go ahead and delete you, start a new one. Okay, go ahead and come back here, reload, yes. It worked. Question mark, it worked. Did it work? I think it did. That's so weird. Okay. That's really strange. So I have to isolate it, then cast it, and then it'll save correctly. That's so strange. That's so weird. So doing a straight up two string on the verb itself seems to stringify its int value, but doing a two string on the casted verb type of a verb type seems to give you the name value. That's so weird. But okay, it works, and that's kind of all I really care about. But I guess we'll do a double check here by quitting and loading in. That's so weird. Well. Well, at the very least, it means that things should work from now on. So if we play through again and these are all set up correctly, then that means it's saving up correctly. Which is the first step on us getting verbs to actually function. Let's go ahead. Say start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, interactions. Let's go back over here. Oh, come on! Why? How does that function? It gets set to 0. Oh, of course, it worked the first time because it was a freshly created object. Duh. Well, dang it. Let's go ahead. I'm actually curious. Let's pause. I want to see what it looks like. So I think we want just a pool manager. I guess that's the case. Let's see. Red belt, custom object. Let's test parse. That's what we want. It has no verbs at all. Okay. That's weird. It's even weirder because it's saving out correctly, but when it gets brought in, it's wrong? But that doesn't make sense, because this is our example, and it's basically doing the exact same thing. Right? Let's see. Where are you? Verbs. Wait. Hold on. Don't tell me it's that. Don't tell me I did something really, really dumb. I did something really, really dumb. It's using the wrong thing. Of course it is. Let's go back here. Of course. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yep, that would do it. That would do it! I love it. Verb. Embarrassing. Well, that kind of makes me wonder if I can just do this again. Let's find out. That is quite infuriating. Alrighty then. So, despite my incredibly terrible oversight there, hopefully that will set everything up properly. And once that's done, we're going to have the really fun part of custom objects, which is going to be setting up verbs. That's definitely the part that I was not looking forward to the most. Down here, delete you, add a new interaction, info, test pub. Okay, close this. Everything's correct. Let's go ahead and stop playing. And while we're waiting, we can look at JSON, and I'm going to take a drink. Cool. So this is where it's going to get super fun, by the way. We're going to need fields for basically all of this information. It's going to be a nightmare. I do think I know how we're going to approach this, though. Instead of having a massive list where you can see every verb, we're probably going to have a drop down. So the menu will remain pretty concise and small. And you'll just toggle between verbs that you want by selecting their drop down entry. All right. So let's go ahead and clear this. Let's play again real quick to double check that verbs retain their actual type. Okay, let's go ahead, do start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, interactions, over here. Ha! Got it. It's correct this time. Good, 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 good. All right, let's go ahead and, I guess, stop real quick. Right, so we're going to want to go over to, get rid of the example, interactions view. I think we want interaction view. Yeah. Okay, so we already have a verbs button set up. Do we have a on verbs clicked? We do. That's going to do stuff. It's not currently doing anything with our verb menu because we don't actually have a verb menu. Let's see. Where are you? Here we are. So we'll go ahead and say public CG interaction info menu verb menu. I know that's not what it's going to be in the end, but just to get something set up. All right, let's come down. Content creation. Let it compile first because I can't actually do anything while Unity's thinking. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and say view interactions. Which one is it? It's interaction. All right, select, no. Select you. The script is what I wanted. All right, so do we have, nope. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and say create C# script, CG underscore interaction verbs menu. That should be good. Huh. Oh, I guess that's fair. Say, why is it not grouped with the other ones? It's because we got V there. Let's go ahead and double click on that. Are we going to open it or not? Well, I guess I can make you verbs menu there, at the very least. Go back here. There we are. All right, and actually I'm going to go ahead and also open up the overview menu. So CG interaction submenu is what I want to derive from. This will of course be in the text quest namespace. Is there anything else that I need to do for this? Well, I want to do stuff like using TM Pro. Am I going to need common? Probably. Public, or not public. Using sleepyowl.common. Alrighty then. And what all are we going to need? Probably would be good just to design this visually first. Alrighty then. So there's our interactions list. Custom game interactions. Come on. Which one is open? I'm just going to disable you. Here's custom game interaction. Let's go ahead and turn on, let's see, content overview. It's going to be our verbs with our root. This root verbs. All right, now for this, we're going to want a couple of things. how do we want to visualize this first off, though? Let's see. First off, do we have... No, of course we don't. How wonderful. Well, then we're going to be making that from scratch. So let's go ahead and say create UI, Text Mesh Pro dropdown. All right, I'm also going to go ahead and create an actual just rect transform to contain this. It's going to be all the way at the top. Pivot at the top. Let's do 0. Let's hit F here. Ooh, what's going on? Why are we so tiny? Did I not stretch? Oh, I didn't stretch you. That would be why. Okay. So this is going to be our verb selection. Put our drop down. Oops. In here. There we go. Stretch you out. From the left, I feel like, I don't know, 200? That seems fine. Let's go ahead and create a Text Mesh Pro text label here. Put that in front of that. We'll call this label. We're going to say verb, colon. Let's go ahead and stretch this left, anchor to the left, position, width 200, probably fine. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is vertically centered, and from the right, do I really care? Yeah, we'll do it from the right. Alright, which probably means I'm actually going to make this 150. And then we're going to make sure that we are using our 8-bit font. Material, that's all fine. We'll do that. Might bump this up to 175. There we go. Looking good. We'll call this verb dropdown. We're also going to go ahead and customize this so that it looks consistent with the rest of the UI instead of using the temporary placeholder ones. Alright, so we want, let's see. Some fun stuff to make this look nice. Yeah. Ugh. Alright. I might be able to get away with just doing this, actually. I'm going to create an image. Okay, let's select our solid. Probably that. Yep. That's fine. Okay, we're going to have that stretch all the way. From the left, it's going to be 200. Cool. We're going to move this over. We're going to be 5 in from all directions. Cool. We're going to change this to our solid as well, except we're going to make it black. Oh, actually, no, we probably should make that white. Have our normal color be black. Have our highlighted color be like a dark gray. Pressed color be a darker gray. And then, of course, our disabled color will be like that. Let's see. Getting all the fun stuff set up. Okay. Now, should options be dynamically generated or set? Probably dynamically generated would be the best way to go. Well, I mean, I know the verb types. So this gets into what I was talking about before. If I can either generate objects with all of their verbs sort of in template form, or I can generate them with no verbs, and then you have to add verbs in order to, do stuff with them. Doing it that way is a little bit more setup for the player, which is why I'm kind of not really leaning towards that. But it would allow me to, well, one, it would keep file size down because you would only have verb entries for verbs that you actually care about, and then everything else, if you try to do it, it would just say you can't do that. And it would also allow me to dynamically generate these options in the dropdown, so you don't have, like 28 different options to look through to get to the specific verb that you want, unless you have 28 verb types set up. For now, you know what? No, I'm going to be lazy. I'm just going to generate it on the fly. because I just don't want to. I just don't want to deal with it. With regards to setting it up and trying to maintain it, it'll just be much easier if it's generated through code. All right. So our label is going to use our 8-bit font. It's going to be white by default. Size 24, probably 36. 36, that looks good. Let's go ahead and also make this our, say selection. We'll just call it selection. From the top, we're going to do 10. From the bottom, we'll do 10. Probably more like 25 and 25. That's pretty good. I'm going to change our label back to 24, though. Should be fine. Arrow, this is actually going to be... Are you rotated? You're not rotated. But you are going to go ahead and be rotated. Make a text mesh pro text. Let's go ahead and slide this up here. Call this arrow. Cool. Select our 8-bit font. Slide this over a little bit. So I feel like, yeah, it's going to come over way farther. About there. All right. This is going to be just a caret. I'm going to rotate this in the Z by about 90 degrees. It's going to be centered and centered, of course. Let's see. Go ahead and copy this. Paste this over here. Oh, right, and then negative 90 rotation. And then we can get rid of this old one. I just do this for aesthetic purposes for the most part. We'll do negative 20 position as well. Okay, so that's that. We'll go ahead and turn on our template. So this lets you see what everything else looks like. Pretty much going to do the same thing here. So we're going to make this a solid. I'm going to do a viewport here. I'm going to show this mask graphic. Well, do we care about that actually? Content. Oh, let me think. It's probably fine. Let's go ahead and make this solid as well. Yeah, that's the highlight. Okay. Checkmark is going to be redone as a solid. Yeah, here's where it gets fun. I think we can convert this also to a solid, except this one is going to be black. And our viewport, will you allow me to adjust that? Of course you won't. Well, that's not frustrating. Let's go ahead and do a couple of other things real quick. Nope, not unrestricted. Clamped. We have inertia, that's all fine. Okay. How wonderful. Then in that case, this can go back to being the UI mask with just solid white. Let's not show mask graphic. And instead, we're going to, I suppose, have to set this. So we're going to go ahead and add a image component. UI, image, make this solid. Yep, and I'm assuming that this is going to expand. Presumably, that would be very weird if it didn't. And here's our item. For the most part, do we really care about anything? Not really. I guess by default it's going to be black. Actually, you know what? By default it's just going to be transparent. Highlighted color, we'll make it semi-dark gray. Pressed color, we'll make it slightly darker gray. Also, pretty much just black for that. 2, none. I'm basically just going through and trying to set up all of our expected properties to make things look right. Make you white. I feel like 18 is a little bit better. From the left, we'll do 25. Item check or checkbox. Do position of. This is not right. Actually, hold on. 5 -5. Oh, are you not gonna work? Oh, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Set you up. Okay, I think this is set up. Maybe for the most part. Oh, the checkbox needs to come a little bit further in. So 15, which means that our label needs to go up to 30. There we go. That should work for the most part. It's probably going to look a little hideous to start off, but we'll be fine. The slider also has not been adjusted, but I'm more curious to see what this looks like in action. So let's go ahead and collapse all of this. We'll disable our template. That's how it works. All right. Oh, and we can get rid of the original arrow. Let's get rid of you. Okay, so that's our selection. So you can see what verb that you are adjusting. Let's see. The next thing we want to do is going to be... let's see if I can open up my template, actually. Okay. So we're going to need effect, the output. Oh, jeez. I have so many options. And this is also still probably going to change a little bit too, which kind of makes this frustrating. So I'm going to ignore randomize output, reset on interact. Do I want to ignore you? Probably not. This is going to get really complicated. Output data value. No. Require equipped. These all required items. Destroy after. Alright, well, at the very least we can do these two. Then after that we'll probably do output data ID and then value, and then require equipped. Use all required items and then destroy after. Oh, geez. Right. That's completely ignoring things like this. Obtainable items and require... Ooh, don't do that. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Yep. We have word checks, item checks, all that fun stuff. Alrighty then. And this is why I wasn't looking forward to this part. This is just a cluster of information. Alright. So first things first, we'll want effect and output. Okay. So let's go to another section, which will be... I kind of wonder, should I make this all a scroll rect? I feel like I'm going to need that. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to need that. So let's go ahead and make a scroll rect real quick. Scroll view. This is going to go the entire duration of this, or entire length. Am I doing any offset on these guys? No, it's all done manually from there. That's kind of... Alright, so here's going to be our scroll view. We'll call this, oops, not one, verb scroll view. Alright, let's go ahead and delete the horizontal scroll bar. We won't need that. It's going to be clamped. It's not going to allow you to scroll horizontal. We'll have a scroll speed of, actually I'm going to double that to 20. Do I really need the image? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. Content. All right. So this is going to be a where are you? Layout. Vertical layout group. Expanding all of that. It'll also just, I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to do another layout. Content size fitter with a vertical fit for min size. So this will now automatically expand to contain all of the elements that are expected below it. Let's go ahead and add a layout component to this. We'll call this a layout element, min height of 100. Cool. I'm going to drag this in underneath content now. Shouldn't really move, and it really didn't. Oh, you know what? Scroll bar vertical. Position X is going to be 10. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So now we have our content and our scroll view. All that should be set up. So next, I'm going to come in here. We'll add another, no, not tile map, layout element. We'll have a min height of 100, should be fine again. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and duplicate this. Single you out. We're going to call you effect selection. So that's going to have the same setup that our previous one had. I'm going to call this effect dropdown. We don't really need much besides that. We'll rename this to say effect. Ooh, and yeah, that's going to be a problem. Hold on. Let's say we'll give these guys 200, and we'll give the selection 250 from the left. Now, seems like that should work. Hello, Apollo I. Welcome back. How are you doing today? I am doing so-so. We're on to verb setup for custom game interactions, and oh my, it is just a nasty can of worms. So there's just a ton of information that verbs have to convey, and trying to convey that, or trying to make a user interface for that is not the easiest or most fun thing to do, but it is necessary. So, all right, so we have our verb, we have our effect. That's pretty much it for that section. Next, we're going to need an output. Let's go ahead and make a new one. We're going to add a new layout element, min height. This one I'm going to say should be 200. I'm also actually going to shrink these guys down to 75, and then I'm going to change their selection to be 0 from the top and 0 from the bottom. Okay, let's come back up here. We're going to have spacing of 10. And we're going to change these guys again down to 60. Really, I can go all the way down to 50, huh? Yeah, that doesn't look bad. All right. We're also going to do some padding up here. So from the top, 10, and probably from the bottom, 10 as well. All gravy. Good news. Up to 577 active players. Congratulations. Tend to deal with that a lot at work. Oh, what? Setting up user interfaces, or setting up user interfaces so people can set arbitrary information on verbs? I seriously doubt it's the latter one. If so, interesting. I thought that was like a very personal problem that not many people would have to go through. In any case, so this is going to be our output. So we'll say output. Okay. We're going to have a couple of things. I'm going to go ahead and copy you, paste you there. How do we want to do this? Yeah, that's actually probably fine. Why are you stretched like that? That's kind of strange. Oh, that's why. Duh. Let's see. So this is going to be ontology, verbs, noun. Ah, okay. Well, then, yeah, you would have to deal with language a lot. So you have 577 active players. What's the peak concurrent players that you've had so far, if you have that stat? Gotta clean my glasses real quick. right, so in addition to this, we're going to want our label to probably be at the top left, not in the center like this. So we're going to go ahead and anchor that up there. And that's kind of okay, but we're probably going to also tell it to be 10 from the top, I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm also going to actually space this out a little bit more, so 20. Yeah, it's a little bit more readable. All right, so we have that. Then we're also going to need a TextMesh Pro input field. We're going to set this up similar to our other input fields. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and... How fun is this going to be? Just the most fun? All right. I'm going to go ahead and stretch this 250 from the left. We're going to change our background to solid. Okay. We're going to remove this. We're going to add a image, or an image, and then we're also going to add a mask. We are going to show mask graphic. It is going to be solid. Oops, where are you? There we are. We're going to be 5, 5, 5, and 5, and you're going to be black. Ta-da! Let's see. 122. That's pretty good. Seems to average around 100 at the moment. Highest age bracket is 25 to 34, 39% female. Wait. Oh, 39% female, 62% in Great Britain region, 20% Android users. Interesting. I had a follow-up question to that, and then I immediately forgot it after I started reading statistics. Dang it, what was it? That's gonna bug me now. We have concurrent players. Something. Oh, sorry, I forgot what it was. It was a data-oriented question, but I forgot. I'm sorry. All right, so we want this to be called output input field. That's not a confusing name at all. And then we got to change our labels to use our 8-bit font. All right. For our placeholder text, we will go ahead and turn off fake italics. We will also go ahead and say that these need to be 5, at least, padding-wise in words. We're also going to change our size to 24. I think that's probably fine. Change our output color to be white. So now if we do a quick test, we're going to say like test output. Yeah, that should be fine. Do I want to clamp this? Yeah, probably. Let's go ahead and change our line type to also multi-line, new line. And let's see. Yeah, we'll support rich text. Well, no, actually we won't. But okay. So yes, I'm actually kind of curious. 98% retention. Wow, that's really good. But I suspect that will go down as the player base grows. But to be honest, I was aiming for 2% as I thought that was super niche. Yeah. I mean, it seems like everything's going along pretty well. What's feedback been like in general, if you have a mechanism for feedback? So I'm going to go ahead and do a color thing here. I'm just kind of curious. Yes, Cat, I see you. But I can't have you sit on my keyboard like that. So we're going to make this color equals red. So now if I turn off rich text, it'll show it. But what does allow rich text editing do? Huh. I don't know. Either way, I'll not actually support rich text. That way people can edit it, as expected. But hold on. So does that mean? That would be weird. Okay, I think I might know what that means actually. So let me change this back. None. So I'm going to allow rich text, and we're gonna test this out when we actually end up using this menu. But I'm guessing that means that it will show rich text, and then when you edit it, it will actually show the full rich text, that's what I would prefer. just because it would suck to. If it won't show you this when you're editing it, then I can't just have it support rich text. It needs to not support rich text. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to delete stuff. So we'll leave that alone, and we'll check that off for now just to see if it'll actually work like that. Get rid of view. We'll change our placeholders. Say input or enter verb output. Let's see. Get rid of view. So that's pretty good. What else do we want? Well, for now, I can actually start coding some of our stuff. So we're going to say public scroll. Oh, right. I'm not using Unity Engine.ui. That would be a problem. Using Unity Engine. Nope, not editor. Engine.ui. All 5.5 reviews on Facebook. Believe it or not, the most common request is microtransactions for specific things. Huh. A lot of people say it has a too steep a learning curve, and some people get overwhelmed. But to be honest, it's designed to be brutal. And you have an intern. Wow, that's fancy. Well, actually, are you paying them? Because if you're not paying them, then it's super fancy. Like that's that's very opulent. Actually, that seems like an incorrect usage of the word opulent because that doesn't really have anything to do with having interns. But that's pretty cool though. You have an intern working with you on this now. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and say public scroll view. I hate that Unity calls it a scroll rect in code and a scroll view in practice, like in the actual object naming. It's so annoying. It keeps confusing me. I always get them backwards. I call them scroll rects when I'm talking about the view, and I call them scroll view. Whatever. All right, we'll call this scroll area. Capital A. We're also going to need public tmp underscore input field. This will be our output field, I guess. A public drop tmp underscore drop down. That's going to be our verb. So, we'll call it verb drop down. Verb drop down. Public tmp drop down. Effect drop down. Okay, that's all I have right now, but we can at least let that compile. Whew! 577 players have donated over 10,000 pounds. Ah! Are you just like targeting the super wealthy? Good God, that is ridiculous. Well, I mean that's good for you. That's really cool though. What are your plans moving forward? Are you going to start working on things like microtransactions, or are you just trying to, in general, touch things up and improve the base game itself? All right, so we have. Oh, we need to rename our label too. Label. Call this output. Output. What else do I need? So we need require equipped. The obtain once stuff. That's something completely different. I really don't want to mess with that. Destroy after. We're probably going to ignore as well. Actually, no. We'll probably have that. Oh God, I'm going to need tooltips. No. Yeah, I'm going to need tooltips. All right. So that's going to be a thing. I just want to make the game I want it to be first, but planned out a 5-year roadmap just in case. Okay. Got a Trello and everything. All official. All right. So we're going to go ahead and say destroy after field, which will be a toggle. Let's go ahead and collapse this. That's our output. Oh, I can probably actually assign these real quick. Oh, nope. You're up here. Oh, I haven't done it yet. Where are you? Verbs menu. There's our root. There's our scroll area. There's our verb drop down. Effect drop down. And there's our output. All right. So our next thing is going to be our require equipped, right? Pretty sure. Oh no, destroy after. Require equipped. I really don't want to deal with that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do destroy after next. So we'll say destroy after. Cool. Let's go ahead and create our. We'll copy the label. Paste this in. Paste that in. Let's go ahead. 1, 1, 1. This one is going to be centered again, like that. And let's see here. Oh, right. I forgot my layout. I was wondering why it was so close. Layout element. We'll go ahead and say min height of 50. There we go. So if you have a Trello set up, what is your immediate, or yeah, what's your current task that you've been working on? So we're going to change this to destroy after. How do I want to phrase that? Destroy after. Yeah, and this is where things get kind of annoying. Probably going to want to change all of our labels here. I think we're going to be really ridiculous here. We're going to say 300. Wow, that's still not long enough. Crud. Okay, 400. I really do prefer trying to line these things up. It just seems like so much white space. 300. Can I get away with that? I mean, I can do 200. Let's do 250. And this label we're going to justify, except justified is only going to work. Oh, no. There. Well. No, never mind. So 0.4 there. But really, justified only works to the left, huh? I can't do it to the right? That's disappointing. I guess I could do that, but that doesn't really work. We'll let it go. That's fine. Both myself and the intern are working on master skills. Players have got ahead of the development cycle, so need to catch up. So working on players' highest skills first. So the intern is working on colonies, explorer master skill, and I'm working on mining master skills. Cool. Both only have one skill left to add, then we'll be in the safe zone for a while. Nice. I mean, it's a good thing that your players are surpassing what you would expect. Means they're enjoying it. Oh, right. And I'm also going to go ahead and change these guys to be offset 400 from the left. So they're going to be pretty far off from the left in case I need to move these guys over again. Okay, so we have destroy after. This is going to need a UI. It's going to be a toggle. This is going to be super fun to set up, by the way. Because do I really want to do it this way? I really don't have a better way to do it. So, line from the left, anchored to the left, and a position of 400 from the left. All right. So let's do a couple of other things too. None. 0.2. We have a couple of things to change. We're going to change you to solid. We're not going to fill the center on you. And we're going to change our check mark over to a solid as well, except it's going to be expanded. And, I don't know, 5 from the sides. That's probably not enough padding. We probably want something like 10. Yeah, 10 looks good. It's going to be incredibly tiny right now, but that's because we're in a very tiny square. So let's see. Background, this needs to stretch all the way. Toggle width of 50. Yep, that's good. Cool. So that's all that really needs. And just to be sure, let's do is on. Oh, right. That doesn't actually do anything. I don't know why Unity's own UI controls don't work. But in any case, I know what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and change this to destroy after toggle. Go, I guess, up here. We'll say public toggle destroy toggle. Yeah, we'll say destroy after toggle. Alright, let that compile. Should I... Yeah, I'll tooltip these. It's good practice to get into just so that I can remember these things easily anyway. Scroll area for the entire menu, except I probably actually just realized, of course I did after I've done this for a while, I probably actually want my my verb type to not go away. It should always be visible, similar to the object name. That does shrink my scroll area down to basically this, but that's not really a huge concern. All right, so scroll area for the, not the entire menu, let's just say for the active verbs information. Cool. We'll go ahead and say tooltip. This will be drop down to select the active verb. Tooltip. Drop down for selecting the active verbs output effect. Well, thank you very much, Apollo I. You're now the top score for cheering. Yeah, I need to have some sort of effect for that whenever people donate like that. Have my avatar get bombarded with them or something. I don't know, something fun. I really need to spend more time on him to just get him to do more fun stuff. But it's a double-edged sword, you know. Spending time on him means that I'm not working on text quests. But it's more fun for chat, so. But either way, thank you very much. Alright, so for this, let's see, output field is going to be our active verbs output. Wow, that's incredibly, I guess I should probably say input field for the active verbs output. And let's see, tooltip, destroy after toggle, so this will be a toggle for the active verbs. How about actually for determining if the active verb should destroy its object after being used. Wow, that's an incredibly long thing to do. Okay, we're also going to go ahead and see what the next thing is. I mean, that's actually a decent base, but from there we probably do want a couple of more things. I really, really don't want to try and handle required items right now. Or obtainable items. That's not really doing anything right now. Alright. How about I do required items, and then I will try to handle require equipped and require... Sorry, I keep making weird sounds, but I'm just struggling internally to figure out what would be important to expose. Probably this stuff. Yeah, that would probably be good. Except that's going to be way more complicated. Because of course it is. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. That really is not good. Okay. Yep. All right, we're going to go to the verb real quick. Verb class. I need to take a look at my, let's see, output ID. Here we are. Data value, I believe, is what we want. And this can be true, false, or toggle. Okay. But that doesn't handle increments. But I thought I had increments. might not. Okay. We might leave things alone here for now. I know that's not everything that the verbs need, but that is the bulk of what they need for basic interactions. And there's still a little bit of restructuring going on here for some of this in the actual game, so I'm kind of uncomfortable making UI for it right now. Um, so we're gonna get just basic interactions set up. We're not gonna do anything beyond that. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and move our verb selection out of this. Yep, we're gonna do that because of course we will. Um, we are gonna have this be stretched like it was from the right. 0, a height of. That's all fine. I probably actually should make you 50 again. So we're gonna do a position of -10. Working on trafficking missions, quite fun. The player has to deliver clone slaves or VIP under the radar to a destination. For each day they are successful, they get a multiplier in the reward, but it also gets more dangerous each time. Nice. Um, hmm. So is that each day is in once per actual day, or each day is in once per trafficking mission? Anyway, let's go ahead and move this from the top by 60. We're going to change you to a height of 50. Get rid of our layout element because we don't need it anymore. And we'll actually change this to 65, 70. Just to give it a little bit more uniform spacing here. That's all good. All right. So we have the basic UI set up for this. We need our toggle still. Now we can set up the logic for our actual menu. Oh boy, this is going to be so much fun. Okay. So we can, we'll move this over here for now. We can get rid of interactions view. We don't actually care about that. Our classic create view. I think everything else is fine. Let's see. Yeah, real time. One mission is given each day. All of the game is in real time. Okay. Two destroyers, for example, can get locked in a battle for hours. Oh man, all day stuff. That was always one of the things that I had difficulty doing. I never really got into games that required constant check-ins from me, which is kind of why. I mean, that's the main reason why I never got into like Facebook games, which I know is kind of what you're doing. But it's just I don't know. I don't know if it's a patience thing or if it's an attention thing. Like it's just not how I play games. I don't like playing games over long periods of time. I feel like it stresses me out. Instead, I just like to play one game at a time and play it like into the ground. Like it gets all of my attention until I'm bored with it. That's just always how I've done it, or how I've played. In any case, so we have CG interaction verb menu. All right, we're gonna want to go ahead and say override show. Go ahead and override hide as well. I'm pretty sure that this is not really doing much besides, yeah, basically the same thing that view does. Pretty sure I'm doing, yep, same thing. So I'm going to say if not, oh, what is happening there? If not is open, we're going to do all the fun stuff. If is open. Alright. This is the only one really like that, though. And it's an option, master skill, if to unlock if people want to do it. A lot of people like mining, where they start mining and check back in a few hours. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. It's just one of the things that for some reason, it's never, that type of gameplay has never gelled with me. Like setting something in motion and then coming back a couple hours later to check on it, I just get, ugh. Like I think Animal Crossing is really the only one that's even analogous to that, and that one's not really the same. That one you just have a set amount of things you can do per day, and then there's not really much to do after that. Um, so you just do it once, and then you come back 24 hours later, or just after midnight, I guess. In any case, private void. We're going to generate. Let's see. We're going to say generate verbs. That'll be fine. Then private void generate effects. And of course, after that, we're going to want to say private void clean up verbs. Private void clean up effects. All right, and then we'll call clean up. Oh, not effects. Clean up verbs here. Before you generate things, you should always clean them up. Otherwise, you risk having basically double what you did before. All right. We're also going to need a couple of things. We're going to need using system.collections and using system.collections.generic. Oh, I actually don't need that for... I do need the collections part, though. And that's just going to be down here. So private void scroll delay. Yield return null, so we yield for one frame, and then we're just going to say scroll area dot normalized vertical position is equal to 1f, so that it gets every time you open the menu. Oh, right, that's an enumerator, not a void. Enumerator. So basically, every time you open up the menu, it should generate the verbs and their effects, and then it should set our scroll area to be at the top of it. That way, it doesn't just awkwardly hang around the middle in case you were scrolling down really far. So we're going to come up here. We're going to say generate effects. Then we're going to say generate verbs. We'll do base.show, and then we'll say start coroutine, scroll delay. All right. Now for the fun part. We're going to want to say, does this have the actual interaction referenced? It does. Good. So in generate verbs, we're going to have to do this. For int I equals 0, I is less than current interaction dot verbs dot count I plus plus. All right. So we're going to say how do we want to say this? Okay, so we're going to say verb dropdown dot, is it add options? It is. And, oh, it's lists, because of course it is. So I'm not actually going to do that there, I guess. That's fair. So we still do need the list. We're going to say list string verb types is equal to new list string, and then we're just going to say verb types dot add current interaction dot verbs of I dot verb dot toString. There we go. Been crunching away on the artwork too. Nice. Do you have anything that you want to post in chat so that I can look at it? Trying to get it all consistent. Yeah, that's the fun part about art, right? Especially if you have, well, I mean, is your intern doing art too, or is that just you? Because that's the most challenging part of art consistency, is when you have multiple people working on it. Typically, if you have one, it's a little bit easier, because if you have one artist, the art tends to be consistent just by virtue of one person doing it. But yeah, the moment you add two people, it starts to get more difficult than that. Check it out on Insta. You mind if I show this on the stream? Just because I Always like to ask that before I show any art. It's looking good. But it was a mix of different artists, stock and mine, changing it to all mine. Alright, and this is the art. So is all of this yours now, or is this the mixture still um, of different artists and yours? Either way, though, it looks really, really nice. I wish I could draw half as well as this, which is why I'm making a text game. Huh. Yeah, it looks really cool. Although I must say the mixture of like otherworldly, like demonesque things and sci-fi is kind of funny. Like in a good way. It's not bad. Um, this is all the new stuff. Cool. I also like the penguin. All right, probably should back. Okay, where was I? Generating verbs. That's where I was. All right, so we're gonna say verb dropdown dot add options, and we're gonna say verb types. And before we do that, we're gonna come down here and we're just gonna go ahead and say verb dropdown. Now it's the old stuff. Oh, did you just dump both of them? Or oh, that's where we were. Okay. I'm gonna say clear options, I believe. Clear options. Yep. I should get rid of them. And then we're gonna add them back. So down here, I'll go ahead and say effects dropdown dot clear options. Cool. Ah, past a point, it goes to the old stuff. Okay. All right, so we're generating verbs. We're gonna have to do the same thing for effects. Except effects is gonna be a little different. We're not actually gonna pull what the verb effects currently are. We're just gonna do a straight up string value for the actual success effect type. So we're gonna go ahead and say list string effect types is equal to new blah blah blah. We're gonna go ahead and do a string array. We'll say effect raw types is equal to success effect ID dot hold on. Is it just enum extensions then? Dot get name values. Yeah, there it is. Success effect ID. Okay. And then we're just going to say effect types dot add range, effect raw types, and then we'll just say effect dropdown dot add options, effect types. Cool. At the penguin point is when it's swapped over. All right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like your art's coming along pretty well. I mean, again, like I cannot even come close to that level of artistic ability. So very good. I applaud. I don't know how well you could hear me applauding, but I was applauding. Okay, so we generate our verbs, we generate our effects. Next, we're going to want to set our values based on what the verb currently has. So let's go ahead and do we want to do current? No. That's probably fine. Oh, this is gonna get. Oh, that's gonna suck. Okay. I need to detect when the verb is changed, and that means that I need to set when the verb is changed. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. Okay. So we're gonna come down here. We're gonna say private void on verb changed. and I think that takes an int. That's like the index. We'll do private void on effect changed. So index, private void on input. No, I'm sorry, on output changed or cognate changed. That's going to be a string value. Private void on destroy after, I guess, toggled. And that's a bool value, I believe. And also we want to make sure that we spell that right. And that's currently all we have and all we really care about. So we're going to go ahead and go down here. Private void awake. Do I really want to do that? I'm going to be changing it fairly often, so probably not. Hold on, let me think. So what I'm currently thinking about is assigning event listeners. Typically, when you assign event listeners, you do them once in awake. But the problem is every time you change the verb, we're going to need to change our effect, change our output, and change our toggle. But we're not changing them to something different. We're changing them to whatever the verb we are changing to. So we're not actually changing the overall value of our data. But if we have event listeners assigned at the start, then it's going to cause it to resave all that data. And I don't know if that makes sense. I guess it doesn't really hurt anything. Yeah, that's fine. That's easier than every time I change the verb, me unassigning those values and then reassigning them after the fact. Yeah. All right, so we'll assign these all once. So I'm going to say verb dropdown dot on value changed dot add listener on verb changed. There we go. Then effect dropdown dot on value changed dot add listener on effect changed. Let's see what else is there. Output field dot on value changed. No, not that. Actually, on end edit. Is there an on submit? There is. Is that deprecated? It's not. I guess we'll do on end value. On end edit dot add listener on output changed, and then finally destroy after toggle dot on value change dot add listener on destroy after toggled. All right. So for this, we're gonna have to do a couple of things. Let's see. First up, we're gonna go ahead and say public verb active verb. That's gonna be null by default. We're also going to want to have, I'm gonna make it public. I don't know if I'll ever need it to be public, but I'll leave it there. We'll call this refresh. Actually, hold on. Do I already have a refresh function in my base class? I feel like I do. Ah, there it is, refresh info. Oh, but that's not actually what I want. So, not quite. Okay. And refresh info doesn't really do anything by itself. Okay. So no. I guess we would say refresh verb info. That's probably for the best. Right. So we're going to say if active verb does not equal null, then we'll say I can't do that. I was gonna assign the actual verb in the dropdown, but that would actually create an endless loop eventually, so we can't do that. So instead, we're gonna say effect dropdown dot value is equal to, oh, piece of crap. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Sorry. I just... So I need to get the index value of what my effect string value is in my success ID. Ah, great. Which means that I'm going to do this. Int index is equal to 0. And then we're going to go ahead and say string effect names is equal to enum extensions dot get name values, and then we're going to go ahead and pass success effect ID. Okay, and then we're going to have to say for int I equals 0, I is less than effect names dot length I plus plus. We're going to want to say if active verb, wait, no. Jeez, that sucks! Okay, hold on. String active effect is equal to active verb dot effect dot to string. Alright, so we're going to say if active effect is equal to effect names I, then we're going to do some stuff. We're going to break out and we're going to say index is equal to I. All of that just so that we could do this. Effect dropdown dot value is equal to index. Oh, that is incredibly annoying. All right, and we're basically going to have to do that for every dropdown that we need. Ugh. Oh boy. Fortunately, I think we don't have too many of those that we're eventually going to end up with. So last thing, well, second to last thing, we're going to say output field dot text is equal to active verb dot output. Oh, frack. Right. I forgot multiple outputs. All right. To delimited string. That's gonna suck so hard. Okay. That's gonna suck really hard. So my output system supports multiple outputs. So basically think like sequential ones where you could like hit something and it would say like you hit the object, and then you hit something again and it'll say you hit the object again. Dang it, how do I want to represent that? I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'm not going to worry about it for now. I don't care. Next we're going to say destroy after toggle dot is on is equal to active verb dot destroy after. All right. Last thing to do is going to be active verb is equal to current interaction dot get verb, and then verb type dot take, because that is the first verb that most people will try on things, and it is the first verb that I have in my verb types. Ta-da! Most common verb. So we set our active verb, and then immediately after that, we're going to want to call refresh verb info. And for this, we'll go. I really care. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say clean up effects, and then clean up verbs. Might as well do that here. What else do we need? Clean up on verb changed. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll probably want to do output field dot text is equal to nothing. And then destroy after toggle dot is on. we don't really care, honestly, about that one. Um, right, we do have some fun stuff here. So on effect change, we're going to go ahead and say if active verb does not equal null. Oops. Also, that's what I was going to do. On close, we're going to, or on hide, we're going to say active verb is equal to null. Which I guess actually I probably should go ahead and do up here. That way values don't get accidentally set. We're pretty much going to wrap this for all of our stuff here. So I'm going to say on output change, destroy after toggled. So we're going to say active verb dot effect is equal to, oh, you've got to be kidding me. All right, give me a second here. Effect drop down dot value, and do I have like an active? No. Oh. Ah. All right, fine. Frack. That's actually going to really complicate things. All right. Let me think. Time out. So I think I'm going to move the verb types list to here. Oh, and this should be private, not public. Private. So private list. Yep. List string verb types is equal to new list string private list effect. Oh, what am I doing? That's a string. String effects is equal to new list string. Same thing. So effect types. Don't really care about anything else. That's fine. So we're going to come down here, and we're just going to get rid of this declaration here and here. So now that stuff can be accessed from anywhere, which makes things a little bit easier. And we're going to go ahead and say is equal to, let's see. Oh, this is going to be fun. Effect types. We can actually just go ahead and say dot value there. Then dot to enum success effect IDs. That's funny. Okay. Output changed. We're going to go ahead and say active verb dot output. Right. Are you a list? You're a list. Outputs of 0 is equal to value. That's all I care about. I really just, for now, I'm not going to worry about it. And then finally, active verb dot destroy after is equal to value. All right. Do we care about anything else? Oh yeah, on verb changed. We have to do all that. That's going to be refresh info at the end here. Oh, I'm sorry, not refresh info, refresh verb info. Refresh verb info. There we go. Let's see. So, in addition to that, we're going to need to actually change the verb. So we're going to need to say active verb is equal to, yep, same thing. So we're going to say verb types of value dot to enum. Oh, I really hope this works. Verb type. Actually, no, this should work. We do this all the time. Oh, no. Oh, right. Sorry. Current interaction dot get verb. Whew. I was like, no, why is it broken? It's like, all right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's all we need. Oh, that's weird. Why didn't I assign that? Destroy after toggle dot on value change dot add listener on Destroy after target. Why didn't... Have I really not done that already? I thought I remembered coding that. Nope, I just did it there. Okay. Fair enough. Cool. So let's let that compile. While that's happening, I'm going to take a drink. And then we should be able to apply our changes and actually test this out in game. It might do what we expect it to, but we'll find out. Okay. Oh, and actually, you know what? Hold on. That should be fine. That's going to be interesting. All right, so there's our verbs. Everything has been assigned. Let's go ahead and turn you off. Let's see if this works. I will be amazed if it does. Oh, and actually, while we're here, let's go ahead and pull you in here. Let's turn off our root. Hit apply. Cool. Let's go ahead and turn you off. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And before we do anything else, referenced right there. Good. We need to set up our verb stuff to actually open. So on overview, we're going to say verb menu dot hide. Oops. Hide. There we go. On overview, clicked. On info, clicked. Let's go over here. Dot show. Okay. I guess that's all we really care about. So. All right. So I should be able to edit very rudimentary things on my objects. Question mark. It seems like I should be able to. So at the very least, I should be able to change effect, output, and destroy after. And everything else right now will be kind of left to the side. So let's go ahead and give this a test. I really, really hope that this works, because it would be really cool if it worked in one go. All right, let's click through here. Start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. Go to interactions, test Paub. Shoot! I was worried about that. Yeah, it doesn't actually... It throws a null reference, unfortunately. Wait, what? That... Current interaction is what returned null? That can't be right. Okay. Let me peek at this real quick. When are you set? Find all references. Oh, of course. Verb menu dot refresh info target object. Of course I forgot to do that. Okay. So now it should work. Hopefully. Oh, interesting. We got a duplicate spawn. Well, that wasn't expected. Oh, wait, no, that's the initial. Never mind. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. Okay. Hopefully this will finish compiling this century? Eon. I don't actually know. Epoch? Okay, one day. There we go. All right, so that makes sense. We were missing a very, very important chunk of information. So hopefully this time it won't do that, and it will work. Start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. We'll go to interactions, test Paub. Ooh, cool. Okay, so we have take. Let's go ahead and why do you sometimes break like that? That's super weird. So let's go ahead and say this is a test take output. We don't want to destroy after. Let's go down to, right, that stupid thing. Let's go to drop. Let's go back to take. It's working. Yes! Read text, speak text, redirect, add to inventory, remove from inventory, equip, unequip, light, extinguish, combine items. Okay, so this is just going to be text only again. Let's get rid of you. I'm going to say, not happening. All right, what other things can we do here? Let's go ahead and say eat. Oh, you know what? I guess that doesn't really work. But let's go ahead and say, I don't think that. Oh, can I? Let's test it. Object name will work. Will agree with you. Okay, so what I'm doing here, object name is syntax that I have in my parser to recognize the name of the object, which is what you'll see up here. So this output shouldn't say, I don't think that object name will agree with you. It should actually say, I don't think that test paub will agree with you. So let's give this a test. Hello, Garrett. Welcome back. How are you doing tonight? It is going generally positive over here. So we're trying to get custom adventure object interactions. Well, those already work. We're trying to get the verb part of that set up so that you can easily adjust verb outputs and such. So let's go ahead and say close. We're going to go back. And just out of curiosity, I'm going to go ahead and check my save state. No! So close! I didn't do anything. Darn it. Or did it? I'm actually going to pause and take a look at the object itself. That would be so sad if it didn't. So let's go to custom game interaction. Oh, not that. Pool manager. There we go. We want to go to basic interaction. Oh, no. Yeah, basic interaction used. We're going to go here. I believe this is our test paub. Yeah, test paub. Take, output text. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry. That's really uncomfortable because our save file is not correct, but our actual objects are. I'm going to resume playing. Maybe it just didn't save properly. Let's go back here. Yeah, it's not doing it. Oh, that's not good. Why not? Huh. Well, I mean, let's just see what this looks like in practice. So I'm going to add an interaction, add an existing interaction. We're going to do our test paub. Close here. Let's just test this out. Oh, that doesn't. Oh, really? If I go north, then south. Okay. Oh, crap! I can't reference that. Test paub isn't a word. Okay, we got to fix that. Let's go back to our interactions. I'm going to rename this. Info. I can't call it something that I can't actually use in my parser. So let's call this an orange. There. Pretty sure that we have orange in our parser. Okay, verbs. Oh, right. You didn't change. We need that to happen. We'll go ahead and change that to take. Let's go back to eat. All right. So now let's close. Let's go back. Let's try this again. Actually, we can probably just do this here. So I'm going to say examine orange. Shoot. Well, crap. We got a null reference exception. Isn't that wonderful? What? This is weird. It's like it's trying to get into our freaking level output stuff. Oh dear. Really? Wait, hold on. That means that it didn't find the object. Crap. Well, the downside is I don't think I can actually do anything now. I'm pretty sure that once my parser breaks, it like horrendously stops everything. Yeah, it's just not going to do anything because the entire UI system just ceases as soon as a null reference gets thrown. So we have to let that stop playing, um, which is very unfortunate because our custom outputs didn't get recorded. Ah, why? Why didn't you change? Okay. Well, I guess we'll go back and try to figure that out. Uh, so if you're still curious, Garrett, then the going has become slightly less well off because of this. Um, why did the save file not change, but the actual outputs did? And then we get a null reference, which is not great. That probably is actually a huge oversight here. I need to handle that. That's not great. Why the freak would you do that? But I have looked for an... Oh! Wait, hold on. Hold on. Data. Dictionary. Are you... Oh, this is going to suck. Yeah, it's going to suck. There are so many words that it gets slow. Is orange not a noun? It might only be recognized as a adjective. It is just an adjective. Okay, that would be why. I probably should have had that be a noun as well. All right, let's try this again. We'll change it to something that I know I have as a noun. I'll make it a door. So that was interesting though, because that means that if it doesn't, no, I guess that's actually understandable. Let's go to start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. I'm going to go back to interactions. There's our orange. We're going to change this name to door. Okay, we got our verbs still, right? This is custom take output. Cool. So does that mean that it just didn't detect? No. It totally did because it changed. Then why doesn't it save? Interesting. Let's go back here to eat. I'm going to say I don't think that object name would agree with you. We'll let that go. Go back to take real quick. Custom take on drop. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. Let's go back. Map. I guess I don't really need to do that. We're going to go ahead and say play. So if I say eat door, frack. Let's go north, then south. Okay, so I think I know what happened. I guess when you start for the first time, I don't actually load items into the first room, so that's something we need to fix. But yeah, haha! We can actually adjust the values now. And we can use object syntax. So, haha! Although that's actually less surprising because my parser just does that. But so we could also say like take door, and it would do it. Yay! Screenshot. Okay, a couple of things to fix then. So we're going to let that stop playing. In custom game session, when we load the first room, I guess. Actually, hold on. Custom game map view. Come over here. Let's go to our play button. Find all references. On play click to go to definition. We're going to start custom game. Go to definition. Current room is equal to starting room. Right. Okay. So when we navigate, we're going to want to navigate, or hold on. I've forgotten what I do whenever I navigate to a different room. Initialize current room, is that what I want to do? Yes. Yes. Okay. So we want to do initialize current room pretty much after that. So I think I can just do this. Initialize current room, and I think that will do everything that I need it to. In fact, yep, it also does that, so I can get rid of both of these things. Hooray! Isn't that nice? Alright. Oh, and one more thing, which is our verbs menu. Whenever we load back in to this, we need to make sure that our verb type gets set. So we're going to change this to, I guess, actually just say verb dropdown dot value is equal to 0. Can I do that? I think that's all I would need to do, actually. Finally got my prototype in front of some friends, getting feedback and bugs. Man, making 3D games is hard, yo. Well, I mean, 1D was technically 3D. You had 3D assets, even if the assets themselves moved along the 2D plane for the most part. I mean, there was also depth in there, but yeah, I mean, it is way more complicated just in the number of factors that you have to consider, especially if you have much more open exploration like your game has. Because even when confined to an island, the fact that the players can go anywhere and do, I don't want to say do anything, but do whatever. It's a lot harder to basically think through what everyone's going to try to do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. We'll just jump straight into testing our game. Yay! Let's go north. Let's go south. We're going to try to say examine door. Right! That's not going to work because it's not saving currently. We need to figure that out. Let's go ahead and quit. Oh, right. Quit. Yes. Let's go back here to our interactions. We're going to go to door. Verbs. We're going to go to drop here. Oh, interesting. Our destroy after toggle was not set up properly on take, I don't think. Well, whatever. I'm going to close this, then I'm going to go back to the door. We're going to go back to verbs, and hooray! A lot more can go wrong. Are you making games within games? Yeah, this is the custom adventure editor. So I'm going to... TextQuest will launch with support for classic text-based adventures like Zork. And probably just going to limit it to that. I was debating doing graphical ones like King's Quest, but I think that's a whole other can of worms. So I feel like graphical ones and 3D ones will be set up. We'll get an editor set up for that if enough people buy the base game and really like it. Then I'll be able to put effort into making the custom adventure stuff a little bit more thorough. But for now, I just want to have something to make the game have some longevity. I would like people to make custom adventures and share them, and I don't know. I think it'd be cool. So sell it as a Unity plugin. I don't know if that would work. I'm a little. I think my approach is a little too restrictive. Like, it's not great for really trying to do your own stuff. It's really great if you're trying to do stuff within its own system, but I think it would take a fair amount of refactoring to try and make it a little bit more user-friendly as far as extending it and building on it. So I'm really putting more effort into just having a API that doesn't really... Like, it does what I need it to do because I can hardwire some stuff, but it would be a lot harder to make it generic and functional outside of my game specifically. Plus, I think there's already a text-based adventure plugin on the asset store. I mean, it's not really great and everything's string matched, but it functions the way you would expect. Um, in any case, so this works, and that does what I want. But I'm going to go ahead and stop playing, and I'm going to try to figure out why our... where are you? Here we are. Get rid of you. Oh, actually, do I even need to do this either? I don't! Ha ha ha! Well, I'm going to do that for now. So I want to figure out why my values are being adjusted, but aren't being saved out. That is super weird to me. So let's go ahead and say on output change, because this seems to be the one that we're having the most difficulty with. We'll say debug.log changed. Okay. So the weird thing that seems to be happening is that we do seem to actually be affecting the interactive object's output for that particular verb that we adjust. But for some reason, it's not getting saved out. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a weird, like, list bug? That would be weird. I don't know why that would do that. Is it because I'm returning a copy of the information? No, that shouldn't be the case either. Hold on. Let me double check this. Where are you? Refresh verb info, active, blah, 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 generate verbs, generate effects, on verb change. Here we are. Get verb, go to definition. Yeah, we should just return the actual verb. Okay. I don't really know what to do about that. Well, while this is compiling, so you have a prototype that you're showing off, Garrett. What are, I guess, the major feedback points that you've been getting? Obviously, besides the fact that accumulating snow on things is incredibly cool. That's actually something I'm going to have to look at soon. Not for TextQuest, but for something else. Because I don't have snow in TextQuest yet. Start extras, author mode, create, Zork. Alright, interactions, door, verbs. Whoa, it got even worse. Hold on. Is it because I'm doing something stupid? Oh, oh, hello. No, that's interesting. What? Wait. That doesn't make sense. Pool manager. So I've stopped editing, but it's still not. Let's see. Test. I really should have these be renamed. Door, output. Interesting. Let's stop playing. I'm going to swap over to drop, and then back to take. Whoa. Hold on. Test output. Whoa. What happened there? That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, that's really weird. Okay. It, for some reason, didn't change on the first time I showed take, but then after that it was correct. Why? That's what? Whatever. So if I go back here, you still don't have. Oh, that's combine. Where's take? Yeah, you're still messed up. Why? Not much. They haven't had too much time. Minor bugs. I need to add mouse sensitivity slider. I still need to add a mouse sensitivity slider. I have yet to do that. Um, that has been on my list of things to do. Uh, the snow gets broken because of a long-standing Unity terrain corruption bug. Not happy. Yeah. Unity engine bugs suck. They're really the worst. Um, all right, so it's not working to load, I don't think. Let's go ahead and go back here to verbs menu on refresh verb info. So we get our outputs. Let's just change this to outputs of 0. We don't care about anything else. And then we will also... Is it because our active... Wait, that wouldn't make sense. That might. So I'm wondering if actually our verb dropdown being adjusted here is not catching or not assigning our active verb the first time it's opened. That would be weird, but I could see that being the case. So I guess I'll just debug that here. Debug.log active verb is equal to null, just to see if that's the case. Let's see. Generate verbs. Not verbs. We don't care about any of this. We are changing our outputs here to be equal to the value. But then why do you set it to, or why don't you change it in the actual object? I have to be doing something stupid. I have to be. I just don't know what I am doing incorrectly. Generate effects. Actually, no. That can't be right. Do I... Like, does it just dump the output in the wrong verb? No, they're all custom output. Custom output. No, that's not right. Okay. Well, that's rather annoying. Custom output. Yep. All just custom outputs. Not the best. Not ideal at all. Let's go ahead and go back here and play. I do not know. Start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. Go to interactions, our door object, verbs. Ah! See, I was right. It is null. That's really annoying. So, that's interesting. That means that we need to, the first time we open, that's dumb, then we might as well do it every single time. So every time we open the menu, I have to manually set my verb to be take, and then I need to manually call refresh, because the first time this menu gets opened, it's not going to be accurate. So if I close this and then open it again, that's still wrong. Okay. Well, never mind. So yeah, I just always have to, really? Alright, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change this. We're going to say delete, and we're going to say a test take output Okay, we get our changed value. Okay, and then if we go look at our actual object, oh, dang it, I was one off. It says a test take output, but if we stop playing, hit close here, go back, hit pause again, still correct, and yet you're still wrong. Why? How? That's so confusing. Okay, let's go to interactive object. Down here in to JSON, is that why? Is it because it's being weird about it? Let's see, info.add, object info, names, adjectives, description, ignoring group. Wait, that would be why. So it's because of us saving here. Of course it is. Let's go up here. How are we loading it for outputs? Info, verbs. Oh wait, no, that's done in the verb. Right. Never mind. False. I'm gonna go back down here. Here we go. Now this must be doing it incorrectly. Custom output is a string. Is it only being used here? Okay. Yeah, pretty much it is. But we're going to come back up here. So we're going to see how we're loading these things. Let's see, destroy after, blah, 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 data, new output, outputs, don't link, get string at index, right, output is equal to JSON array. Cool, so it's a JSON array. So we're going to want to go ahead and say, instead of this, we're going to say JSON array output is equal to new, well, not output, we'll call it output JSON is equal to new JSON array. And then we're going to go ahead and say output JSON dot add. Do I have support for, really? Well, that seems dumb. That must be done in my declaration then. So we'll say outputs. Yep, there we go. So we're going to change this to output JSON. And I think that will do it correctly this time. Let's go ahead and let that compile. So the problem was it was using the wrong output value, basically. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let this compile, and now it should work. In theory. I'm assuming. Alright, let's see. Going to play this time. Let's go ahead, click through all of this. Extras, author mode, create, Zork, and interactions. Door, verbs. Oh, right, I forgot to fix that. That's fine, we'll go back to drop here and then go to take. So we're going to change this to say a test take output. Okay. Let's go ahead and also go down to door, to eat. I'm going to change this to say, I don't think that lower name would agree with you. Let's go to examine. The object name is very wordy. Actually, no. We'll say very old. And then we'll say go down all the way to insult. Hello, TMBG Sky. Welcome back. How are you doing today? And yes, it is getting there. So we're going to say you tell the lower name that it is very wordy. Sorry, that pun was just too much. It had to be in the insult. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to go back here. Take. Da, 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 da. You're all correct. Okay. Except I actually know that you're wrong, so we're going to have to go back here. Okay. And let's go back. I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to take a look at this, and yes! Ha ha ha! It's working! Doing well. Well, now that my verb stuff is actually being parsed correctly and loading, I am doing fantastic. Certainly much better than I was like 2 hours ago. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Oh, and actually, before we do that, let's take a look at our basic interactions. Come back here. Test object. Test take output. Okay, everything looks like it's working. Come up here. And we're going to say examine door. The door is very old. Good. Now we're going to say eat door. Yes! Lower name works too. Ah, yes, this is great. And finally, insult. Insult door. Ah, that's great. Screenshot. So awesome. We have verbs editable in game and capable of being saved out. So last thing to do, let's go ahead and go back. We're gonna go ahead and stop playing. The last thing to do is reload and make sure that these values are still there and they get parsed in correctly. And then if that works, our workflow is functional. It's obviously not perfect and it's got a lot left, but it's functional, and that's what makes it exciting. Oh, you know what? We probably should do stuff like, we probably should expose our text color for the object name highlighting. Let's see. I'm not going to worry about that tonight. That would be something to keep in mind, I suppose. Oh, and actually, you know what? While we're stopping, let's go over here to CG Interaction Verbs menu, all the way up here. We're going to want to say active verb is equal to current interaction dot get verb type. Hold on. Verb type dot take, and then we're gonna have to call refresh verb info. All right. That should work. All right. All right. Finish compiling. Let's give this a shot. I believe in you, Unity. Start. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, and game interactions, door, moment of truth. Yes! Yes, this is good. Okay, so let's see, what do we have? We had examine, it's very old, and then we had insult. Yes! Cool. So that works. And toggling between these works too. That's good. Let's go ahead and open this up. Going back here. Looks like that's good. Cool. So we have verbs now. So you can interact with objects in game, only in their room, and you can do specific verbs to them, and they will actually have outputs now. So moving forward, this is going to require a lot more options for the verb, or for the verb settings. We're going to need probably probably some more stuff here. Specifically, I'm probably going to want to have um, a drop down for the color highlighting of an object whenever you see its name. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and pause real quick. Actually, let's go over here to info. Let's go over here. Keep going. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Let's see. Here's our names grid, right? Yes. Oh, hold on. Where are you? Here we are. Add name. No, that's not right. Interaction string field. Right. Are you used for both of these? So the problem is that whenever you don't have any text in the names or in the one of the name segments, it says add or enter adjective, and that should probably say enter name, which means that I probably need to just have multiple interaction string fields here, which is a little unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Alrighty then. So, we've made a lot of progress today, in the sense that now custom adventures have support for verbs. Also, verbs are being saved out correctly and parsed in correctly, unlike what they were doing before. What would be the next things that we have to do? Item support, which is what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream today. Let's go ahead and just out of curiosity here, I'm going to go to info view, adjectives. It does have an interactive string field here, so we're going to go ahead and, I mean, I don't want to have multiple ones. It makes no sense to have multiple prefabs if all I'm doing is changing the text. So I think instead what I'm going to do is this. We're going to make a small code change to, let's see, names, CG element input area. Element prefab. Okay, we're going to come down here. I'm going to say public string placeholder text is equal to nothing. Go ahead and tooltip this. I'm going to say the text that should be shown when there is no text entered for an element. Okay, let's go ahead and let that go. Refresh elements. Hold on here. Element prefab. Find all references. Let's see, request. I have two. Ah, right. That's fair. Let me peek this real quick. Edit. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and say... Should I refresh? No, yeah, okay. Element dot input field dot placeholder dot text. Oh, not GUI text. Text. Oh no! Don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's a graphic. No. Crap. Well, that really sucks. That really sucks. Okay, hold on. Hold on. 4 tickets knocked off the board. Nice. Alright, well, thanks for stopping by, Apollo. I'll probably call it a night here soon, too. Once I get these elements functional. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully your intern will live up to your expectations, and hopefully you'll continue to keep getting more and more players. All right. Anyway, let's go back over here. Go to definition. We have an input field. I'm going to go ahead and say public text mesh pro UGUI placeholder label. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, that's good. We'll just have a reference there. And then here we'll just say element.placeholderLabel.text is equal to placeholder text. Okay, as simple as that. And then we'll also have to do that here. All right, let's go ahead and let that compile. Then I'm going to have to assign that placeholder, which means I'm going to have to pull out my UI here. Come on. I believe in you. You can do it, Unity. There we go. Okay. Nope, don't want to do that yet. I gotta turn you on first. Alright, we'll have a height of 50 and a width of, I don't know, 400. That seems fair. Let's go ahead and drag in our placeholder. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit apply. We can delete you. So now you have that referenced. Cool. Let's go over here to our names. We're going to say, oh, crud. Hold on. Let's see, what is my placeholder currently saying? Enter adjective. Let's go ahead and copy that. Come over here, info, adjectives, paste that in. Nice, come back. Info, names. I'm going to say enter name. Hit save. All right, final test, and then we'll probably call this a night. Got verb, well, how do I want to phrase this? Interactions with objects in custom adventures is now more or less 70% functional. You can interact with objects in custom games. You can only interact with them in the room that they exist in. You can customize their verb outputs, including customizing using syntax like object name and lower name. Let's see, what else do we want to do? We have an actual UI set up for this. This is still wrong. Oh, it's because I clicked on the wrong thing. That's fair. See, this is correct. Oh, right, info. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I was talking about. So now it says enter name. Good. Let's go to door. We're going to add a new adjective that says, I guess we're going to call it old because that's what it was. Hit add. If we delete that, it says enter adjective. That's good. So we're going to say old. Cool. Let's go ahead and close this out. We're going to call this a test. Well, we'll say a test door. It doesn't open. Cool. So all of that is functional, and it's all saving out, doing what we would expect, and we can interact with it. So, yeah, that's a pretty good place to stop for the night. Let's see, announcements. Keep your ear to the ground on tomorrow's stream. I'm gonna try to do it, but it's gonna. I'm still messing around with creating art assets for Carante's simulation for the bridge, so that would probably be what we would do, art asset stuff. But I'll send out a message about it, or I'll post about it, or whatever it is on Twitter or Twitch. Too many T's. So just be aware of that. But aside from that, I think we're in a good place to stop. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.